Remnant 2 is a much deeper game than we expected. At this point, I think we can all agree, and it's only made better by the fact that it does not hold your hand. And while that's awesome, it can also be very easy to get overwhelmed and to miss a lot of the basic things because the game just doesn't tell you. For example, I was 20 plus hours into the game before I found out that you could ping, and there's an emote wheel that you can use to do emotes. Now wait, before you click off, I can hear it already. This isn't fucking Fortnite, I don't care about emotes. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of secrets in this game, and some of those emotes might be more useful than you think. This is something you should explore. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Moving on. Another big thing that the game does not tell you is you are not stuck with the archetype choice that you make in the beginning. In fact, you can change it pretty much any time. With the new update, they made it so as soon as you have the items to take to Wallace, you can add a second archetype, and you can even change your original or second archetype as many times as you choose whenever you want. This goes hand in hand with an item that Wallace sells called the Orb of Undoing that will reset all of your spent trait points and allow you to respec your build. Those two things in combination basically mean that you can make your character whatever you want, whenever you want, as often as you want. Oh wait, one more thing about archetypes. There are 6 hidden ones that you can unlock at this time, so don't think that the 5 that are there in the beginning is all there is, because there's actually 6 more with very different playstyles. To unlock a new archetype, you just bring the mysterious items that you receive to Wallace, and he will craft you the engram to get that archetype. Also added in with the new update was that any archetypes you unlock will remain unlocked for any characters that you create. This is actually a pretty big quality of life thing, meaning you won't have to go back through the steps or the quests or the areas to try to find these hidden archetypes for every single alt that you create. Another pretty cool thing that you might never find out is that this game actually has multiple branching storylines, and it's meant to be replayed multiple times to see all of the content. If you just run through this game one time, most likely you're missing a pretty large chunk of things. Now, I'm not going to tell you that the story in this game is some kind of prize-winning amazing narrative like Baldur's Gate 3 or anything like that, but if you're somebody who just likes to follow the lore and the story of a game, there's actually multiple branching quest lines and characters that kind of intertwine depending on the game and the world seed that you get when you start. Speaking of the world seed and procedural generation, Remnant 2 actually offers players a really great way to restart your campaign without having to restart a new character or start completely from scratch. This is the reroll option, which will allow you to reset your campaign, but it will not reset your traits, skills, power level, or your character. This option is only accessible through the World Stone at Ward 13. This can be good if you're having an extremely hard time in the world seed that you're in, or you're stuck at a certain spot that you just can't get past, because you can also change the difficulty when you re-roll. Now, looking at this re-roll menu, you will also see adventure mode, which is completely separate from your campaign, and something else that the game really doesn't explain very well. Once you complete a world boss, you will unlock adventure mode for that area, and you can do adventure mode basically to just focus on a single area to find things that you missed before, and it will also have new bosses, new items, and some hidden secrets. Once again, this can be re-rolled, and it is completely separate from the campaign re-roll, meaning if you re-roll adventure mode, it won't reset the campaign, and vice versa. With a heavy focus on this game being procedurally and randomly generated, this also means that when you join your friend's game, he might have a completely different story or set of quest lines and worlds that you have never seen before. And that's as good of a segue as any, I guess, to go into the multiplayer stuff the game doesn't really tell you about. For one, there is definitely friendly fire in this game. You can damage your friends, and that's something you gotta watch out for when you're playing co-op against bosses in these crazy hectic fights. And for two, while you might think that multiplayer would be easier, it actually scales a little bit differently, and you will take extra damage per extra player in the match. This was actually originally 25% extra damage per extra player, but the first update knocked it down to 15% extra damage taken, and the latest update actually changed it even further to where now it is only 10% extra damage per player. So if you have 3 people playing at once, which is the max by the way, you will all be taking an extra 20% of damage just for being in co-op. Now real quick, this is something I've seen a few questions on. It's very easy to overlook, and I'm sure a lot of people have figured it out by now, but if you do want to matchmake with randoms, you can. All you have to do is change this setting to public, and people can join your game. So if you got this far, which of these things did you not know? If you got anything useful from this video or you learned something new, a like or a sub would definitely help me, and I appreciate all of it. I do make variety gaming content as well as some Call of Duty stuff, so if that's your thing, definitely subscribe. And here's a few more Remnant 2 videos that you can check out if you're interested. Thanks again for watching.